Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Achmad Nur Ravi and I'm from ninth group and my partner is Efiansyah. So our topic is talking about macro and micro evaluations of task-based teaching. So the first we have table of contents, and the first is defining task, macro evaluations, and then macro evaluation of task-based teaching. And my partner will explain about approach to evaluating TBLT, and then micro evaluation, and the last is micro evaluation of task. So the first is defining task. Various definitions of a task have been provided, but most of these indicate that for a language teaching activity to be a task, it must satisfy the following criteria. So it can be called task if it have some criteria or characteristic. So there are four characteristics. Okay, the first is the primary focus should be on meaning, and then there should be some kind of gap, and then learners should largely have to rely on their own resources to complete the activity. And the last is there is a clearly defined outcome other than the use of language. So and the second is macro evaluation. The first of these questions relates to what Ware and Roberts refer to as accountability evaluation, and the second to development evaluation. In order to carry out a macro evaluation of a project, the evaluators need to collect various kinds of information relating to one or both of the following. So the evaluator should collect various kind of information relating to one or both of these. The first is administrative matters, like the logistical and financial underpinnings of the program, and then curriculum matters, which in turn can be broken down into a consideration of A. Materials, B. Teachers, and learners. And the third is macro evaluation of task-based teaching. The first published macro evaluation of task-based teaching was of Prabhu's communicational language teaching project. This was a project designed to introduce task-based teaching into a number of secondary school classrooms in southern India. Beretta and Davis sought to compare the learning outcomes of the learners involved in the project with those in traditional classes, where the structural oral situational method was followed, the control group. So the point is, the main concern of all of the macro evaluation was the extent to which task-based teaching was implementable in the different teaching contexts. In all of the contexts investigated, TBLT constituted an innovation, and as such, its uptake was influenced by the various factors that have been shown to affect whether or not an innovation takes root. Okay, and next will be explained by my partner Efiansyah.
Okay, next, number 4. Approaches. A number of secondary school classrooms in southern India. Berta and Davis sought to compare the learning outcomes of learners involved in the project, the experimental, with those in traditional classes, where the structural oral situational method was followed, the control group. This approach to language teaching cannot be said to constitute a distinct method, has drawn extensively on research into acquisition, as a reflect in books by Crooks and Guest. Microevolution. Micro. A microevolution is characterized by a narrow focus on some specific aspect of the curriculum or the administration of the program, each of the curricular and administrative aspects referred to above lends itself to a micro-evolution. As with a macroevolution of tasks can be directed at accountability or improvement. In the case of accountability, the evaluator will need to investigate to what extent the task saves the aim set out for it. Here, it's, Here it is worth noting that even if learners are successful in achieving the outcome of the task, they will have gained little unless the process involved in performing the task can be shown to be of value to learning.